discussing about foundation of individual behavior. Foundation of individual behavior, we study about ability. In ability, we study about physical ability, mental ability. So now today, we are looking at biographical characteristics. Why we are looking to biographical characteristics? We have different issues arises. And biographically, we have different issues arise. So that's why we are looking toward it and understand that. And understand that biographical, what sort of issues are and would be. Like in here we have, what we have in here, biographical characteristic, we have analyzed the variables that have impact on employees' productivity. Look, variables in biographical characteristic, we have 4 variables that have impact on productivity of any organization. The productivity, their performance, having impact, whether it have positive impact or negative impact, but in the both sense it has impact. So we look at and we study about it and learn about it, that which one we should follow it, and to what extent we have put an eye on it, concern, observe on it. Like what we have to being, by looking at factors, they are easily definable and readable. Data that can be obtained for the most part of simple form of information available in the form an employee's personal file. These sort of information, the data that we have gathered, the information that we have gathered is already available in every employee's individual file. That is about, why we are studying these things. When we are making any sort of decision makings, for making any sort of decision making, we must know biographical characteristic of individual. So that's it need. In order to avoid the biasness, avoid the problem that we face regarding gender, regarding what you have age-wise, race-wise, and tenure or length of the time that you have spent in organization. Now, characteristic what we have, the characteristics would be employee age, gender, race, length of services. Age, gender, in the gender what comes, male and female comes. In age comes different age variation comes, different employees of age we have. And what we have, race. Inside organization, different people they came from different societies, different family backgrounds. The family backgrounds, the societies, they have different race. Every person, you can say nasal, we can say that. And the length of services that with organization, the duration, the tenure, the time that you have spent inside organization. These are the things which matters a lot. These are the things which matter a lot. These are the issues what we have. Issues are concerned with this. Like, let's come to about age. The first gender, the first biographical characteristic what we have, that is age. What we have? Age, the relationship between. Now what is that? The relationship between age and job performance is likely to be an issue. Is not an issue or not? The relationship between age and job performance is also an issue. We want to study this. We have different researchers who studied about age and job performance, that it has a positive relationship. It has a positive relationship. What does it mean by having a positive relationship between age and job performance? For example, the younger employee will give more effort. Is it right or no? Is it right or wrong? The more you are young, the more you give effort to in a job, in performance. The older you get, the lesser the performance will be. So the performance, it has a positive relationship. So if you get older, so definitely the performance also will be getting decrease. So it having positive relationship. So old and younger, here is the issue we have. The issue is going on right now. What do you have? Performance is likely to be an issue, increasing the importance of during the next decade, and there are two reasons. Next decade, in upcoming 10 or 15 years, this issue will be more or less will be in high rate. Organization will be, they will think more on it. Only in the best of two reasons. What are the reasons? The reason number one, there is a whispered. Whispered means increases, what comes? The performance decline. One reason, and people start believing on it. People start believing on it. When people say that people are getting older, so definitely the age will affect on age. It affects on performance. So they are looking for not hiring older. And they put in their job descriptions the age limit. You see, when you apply for the job, there's an age limit. 25 to 35. For this position, 25 to 35. Look, the age limit is there. Once they believe that, look, it's automatically the beliefs is generated. The belief within the employers are generated that younger, we need a younger employees rather than older. Those who have, because older having negative effect on our employee or organization performance, on a job performance. What do you have? The next reason is workforce is a younger or aging. Workforce must be young. You know, they're saying that they must be young, energetic, and having, you know, the good quality. The young, energetic. When the young, they perceive that younger are giving, they will be a commitment. They came with a commitment. They do hard work as their perceptions are there. As this is the perception of the employer, the beliefs of the people. That's why they are what? They say that older people are less effective than younger people. But later on, the other studies are also concluded that. But we cannot ignore the old people. We cannot ignore all those people who are having experience in the organizations. We cannot ignore it. We cannot ignore this concept. What do you have? Older workers' perceptions. What is the perception of older person? When you ask from older perception, when you ask, that is these two beliefs of the people. Overall, a general beliefs will draw. When the researcher asked from the perception of young, from perception of older, what they had to draw that. Perception indicates that employers hold mixed feelings. They see number of positive qualities. Older workers bring the job specifically experience, judgment, strong work ethics, commitment to quality. As they perceive that. And older people, they have the what? They have experience and have good judgment and strong work ethics. They can do what once they said, they will do it. And commitment to the quality. They always go for the quality of, they provide quality. Older workers having lack of, but they have only one leg. Although they have these things. They have experience, they have judgment, they have work ethics, they are commitment. But they have one leg of the problem, that is flexibility. What is that? Flexibility. They were not flexible. For example, she is sitting in here. If I tell her stand up and go there, she will not resist. She will stand and she will go there. Is it correct? If an old person, tell to the old person, stand up and go there. For 10 times he will look at me and again he will resist. I don't go. Now he is not flexible. Old women or men, not flexible. Not flexible with a new technology. Not flexible with a new era. The time is changed. Look, 10 years, 20 years back. 20 years back in Afghanistan, now the trend is back. Trend is changing in Afghanistan. The systems are changing. Everything is changed to automations, automatically. If you go to the government organizations, the older people who are sitting there, if you bring any sort of changes, they will start resisting. Because they are not flexible. When you are not flexible, when organization needs change and you are not flexible, you are not showing a flexibility, you are not showing the changing of attitude, So what will happen? Definitely organization performance will decrease. For example, organization need change. People demands are change. People needs are change. Organization must change according to their demands, according to their needs. So what if the older people always resist? They will not change themselves. They have lack of what? Flexibility and resistance to change. When individuals seek, organizations seek, individuals adopt the change. When they seek, when organizations seek, تابع طلاش مباشرة تغييرات بيارا. مشكلة اللي بجاي مباشرة خد تغيير بيارا. They're not changing themselves. They're showing resistance. You see that if we change ourselves, maybe after some time they will change us. So this resistance is available. Although they have experience, they have a judgmental quality, strong work ethic, and commitment to the work. But still one thing, because the time is not a static, it is a dynamic. The time, the era is not static. Look, from the last 10 years right now, every moment, every time it's changing. It's changing, the trend is changing, the fashion is changing, the design is changing, the people beliefs, values are changed, their customs are changed, everything is changed, so you need to change. But people will show resistance, older people show resistance. That's what is the lack of the quality. The older you get, then the less likely you quit the job. But there is one thing we have. Youngers, age, we are just talking about age, that young age having more they are quitting the job more as compared to older. Because the people who get old, they are not quitting the job. For example, you spend 10 years in this Rana University, for lots of 10 years in this Rana University. Then you are unable to quit this job. You have already spent 10 years. You have already spent the precious time of your life in here. So how can you change? How can you change yourself? How can you go to somewhere else? So you are not quitting. The youngster, why they are not quitting? Because they have less opportunity in the market. They have less opportunity in the market. That's why I told you that the older you get, the lesser the opportunity will be there. Age turnover relationship we have is low. They have fewer opportunities. Turnover rate, leaving rate, resigning rate is low. Why? Why it's low? Because of they have low opportunity. Opportunities are less in the market for them. That's why they cannot move them. But although for a youngster there are much more opportunities in the market, they can quit that. According to age we are talking about, age is issue. It's an issue. We can look for it. Older workers are less likely to resign than younger workers. They're less likely to resign. Look, once you spend somewhere for a loss of 5 years, 10 years, you are thinking of what? Another. Look, if you switch in the time of, you spend in here 10 years, and the moment you switch to another organization, comparatively, you will not be paid similar like this as compared to here. There will be longer vacation paid because you are a senior employee. They will give you different relaxations. If you are going for vacation, they will give you paid vacation for longer because you are experienced employee here. You spend for lots of 10 years, you will have relaxation. They provide you relaxation for the sake of because you have spent much time. And more attractive pension benefits. At the age when you retire, they will give you a lump sum, a huge pension benefit. A huge pension benefit. Most studies shows the relationship between age and job satisfaction and productivity is positive. Look, it's positive relationship. We are always most concerned, according to job, being a student of organizational behavior. When we are hiring people, we must look at the nature of the job. Regarding the nature of the job, we should hire any applicant, any candidate. Whether the nature of the job is need energetic, Like, for example, if the nature of the job is only advisory, giving only advisor, so we definitely go for experienced people. We go for experienced people. That's the advisory. Then we want to hire advisor for advisor of the organizational advisory board. So we go for this. If there is a salesman, if the job of applicant is a salesman or a cashier or any other activity we have, a trainer, so we must go for an energetic, a youngster, and according to the age. You have to see that from 20, 25 to 35, the young age. Yeah, even the 40, 45 is a young age. After 50 years, the people become getting older. The performance will be declining. So although they need, we are not avoiding the old age. They have capabilities, but we look at that. As compared, the youngster rate of turnover or quitting is higher, and as compared to older. But still, we look at the nature of the job. What sort of job it is. Then we go for hiring. If the nature of the job is we need youngster, and we go for the older people, so that is that we are doing wrongly on hiring process. So what another we have? Gender. The issues here, gender. People perceive that whether woman performs as well on the job as men do, this is an issue. Whether a woman performs as well as men do. So we are concerned about the issues. Is it that, look, we are hiring a job, we are hiring person. So when you are hiring people, so we also look at the gender equality. We look at gender. The research has done different places, says that as a psychological study have found, women more willing to confirm the authority. Men are aggressive. Women to have expectations of success but difference in the minor. Look, as the researchers, they have only there was the word said, what said the problem was there, the whether the woman performance is similar like a men, they also do similar performance, they are also very committed to the work. What the study says that, what psychologists say that, they say that women are more willing to confirm the authority. When they come, means that they are willing to accept the authority. They are willing, once they accept the authority, they will not leave it. They always looking for authority. Women are always looking for authority, to have authority, as compared to men, because men are very aggressive attitude. Women have expectations. They have expectations. But only expectations and confirm the authorities having a little bit minor differences between men and women. But there is difference. Minor, but there is difference. The difference is work performance. The difference is what? Work performance. Men they perform well as compared to women. They work hard. They do their effort too much to earn any task, to achieve that, as compared to women. Women differ when women they have different. Women are different when? They are different when they have preschool children. Preschool children. Preschool children means what? They have a kids. When they have kids, so they prefer too much what? Flexible timing and part-time job work. When they have a kids, they are preferring to what? Flexible timing. They want to relaxation in timing. For example, your working day start from what? From 8 o'clock and it will end to 6 o'clock or 4 o'clock. But women need a relaxation. And what? They say that when 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock alarms start, they say that, sir, I want to go. Why? Because I want to go home for cooking, for making lunch for my home, or taking groceries from market, taking my children from school. So I'll go, that's why I go here. And children are coming, I make make ready, make ready for them dishes or lunch. So they what? They want relaxations. As compared to what? Men are working till the end of the time. But that's why women are mostly prefer a part-time work, a part-time job. In the morning time, from morning to evening, from morning to afternoon, they are unable to work because they are busy in home activities. They are free after lunchtime. That definitely because they make ready everything for night for just to heat it up. So that's why they need a part-time job. So there is a little differences. Women quit rates are similar than those men's. Quitting rates are similar. Men and women quitting rates are similar almost. They are high rates are similar. If there is a high rate on quitting of men, definitely women are. Women are having high absenteeism rate. The rate of absenteeism is very high in women. The rate of absenteeism is very high. Now look, this is a very interesting point. The rate of absenteeism of women is very high. The reason is what? Let me give you an example. There was a study conducted in Korea, a Korean company. When a Korean company study conducted, they analyzed the women. Then they said that women rates of absenteeism very high because of what? In Korean, when a guest comes, what happened that? A man will go, that is woman. Woman should stay home and serve the meal to the guest. According to this, women are always looking for leave. After in 1 week, definitely they will 2 or 3, or in 1 month they go for 2 or 3, 4 leaves daily, every month. Because they have lots of work at home. Family members are coming, friends are coming, relatives. When you have the weddings are there, the parties are there, too much things because they cannot excuse them. Women, the problem is that women cannot excuse as compared to men. Men can excuse it, but women cannot excuse. Definitely they need leave. That's why the absenteeism rate is very high. Go for the rate.